my video, guys. I've been seeing all these ruche tops with puffy sleeves and short bodies and all those things, and I really like all of those styles because they're, first of all, I've got big arms, so if you have a fluffy sleeve, it covers it up and it also looks pretty. And a fitted shirt body always hugs your body and makes you look a little slimmer, so it's my jam. So I wanted to try to make one of those. First of all, it was really hard to find elastic thread over here. So I ordered it on Amazon and I got a giant spool of thread, which I'll probably use in my future projects. So that's not a waste, and it was quite deep. Also, disclaimer: I've never shirred before, so this was my first project shirring. If you've never done shirring before, it's not that difficult. It's very easy, and I guess you can give it a try. And hope you enjoy it. So first, you're going to be measuring around the widest part of your bust. We're also going to measure the front part of the bust. So if you have a tight top, wear it and then measure seam to seam from the front. Next, we're going to measure the under bust and also measure your waist. So I found this cotton ditzy print fabric that I thought would be perfect for this top, and so we're going to use it. First, we're going to start by measuring the front piece. The widest part of my bust was 36 inches, so I'm going to divide it by 2 and add 6 inches so that when it is shirred, it looks good on my body, it fits well. For the length, I measured how long I want it to be and I added 3 inches so that if I make a mistake or if it scrunches up while shirring, it does not become a problem, and I can always cut off the excess if I don't want it. You can copy the same exact measurement for the back as well, but if you make a mistake and cut it smaller than the front, then you can use 2 pieces to make the back piece. We're going to copy the measurements and cut the same pieces out of the lining fabric as well, and then iron them so that they lay flat and nice and it is easier for us to sew. Next, we're going to line the main fabric and the lining fabric and then stitch them in place with a straight stitch. Then I'm going to trim all the extra fabric from the seams because, as you can see, I did a great job cutting both the pieces same. Now that we've got rid of our imperfection, I'm going to flip it inside out so that the good side shows. You can also iron the pieces so that it lays flat, and then I'm going to top stitch so that it holds its shape and it looks cleaner, because top stitching always makes the piece look much cleaner. Now I'm going to mark about ½ an inch from the top so that we can make our elastic channel. Then 7 inches down, I'm going to mark where the top bust part ends. Mark some lines where I want the shirring to be. This will help us get straight shirring lines. To help you visualize better, these are the pieces that I cut out. So this is the front piece. I'm going to make the channels on the top 1/4 of an inch because my elastics are the size. 7 inches down, I'm going to shirr all the way to the bottom. So this summarizes the front piece. For the back piece, I have 2 panels since I cut them wrong, and I'm going to shirr all the way to the back and then join them together to form the final back piece. To get started with shirring, we're going to load the elastic thread to our bobbin. To do that, we're going to just take the bobbin and wind the elastic thread all around it. Now you don't need to pull on the elastic thread, you just have to wrap it around it. And then when you have enough, you're just going to insert it to the bobbin case and pull the thread out as you would usually do with normal thread. If it is too tight for you, you can use this screw on the top and loosen it a little so that it's easier for you to pull it out. So after loading the bobbin, we have this elastic thread at the bottom and normal thread on the top. We're just going to shore our way to the bottom of the front piece from the 7-inch mark that we made earlier. I also stitched the top channel through which I'm going to feed my elastic. Once it's done, it is going to look something like this. It's short at the bottom and has the elastic channel at the top. I stitched the ends of the elastic to secure it in place. So this is the front piece, and I also shored back pieces. I had to shore them all the way from the top to the bottom, and I have 2 pieces. I'm going to straight stitch them to form a final back piece like so. I'm going to trim the extra fabric in the seam and zigzag stitch it across so that it's cleaner. Next, we're going to place the front piece and the back piece good sides together and pin them together and sew the side seams with a straight stitch so that we have a tube top. I have these 2 pieces that are going to make my sleeves. Next, I'm going to fold it in 3.5 inches so that when we cut the piece out, it looks something like this. It's going to help us create a better shape of the sleeves. Then I'm going to sew the seams together and zigzag stitch it across so that it's cleaner. I also hemmed the top and the bottom. Then at the end of the sleeve, we're going to shore 3 rows so that it helps us create that puffy sleeve look. And these are how the sleeves look now. For the armhole, we're going to make channels so that we can insert these 1/4 inch elastic through it. To do that, first we're going to measure the armhole. So the half of the armhole is 10 inches, so the total measurement of the armhole will be 10 into 2, so 20 inches. We're going to need some space to feed the elastic through, so I cut this 19 inches into 1.5 inches long strip and then folded it and ironed them in place so that we have something like this. We're going to sew these along the edge of the armhole to make the channels. We're going to sew it such that we have enough space to feed the 1/4 inch elastic through it. Once that's done, this is how it should look. Now we're going to feed the elastic through it like so. Then I zigzag stitched it to secure it in place. And the sleeves are done. Now we're ready to attach it to the tube top that we made earlier. To do that, we're just going to place them like so. To make both of them connect smoothly, I'm going to finish the edges of the stitch diagonally so that they make a smooth curve instead of just ending abruptly. And that's all.